I want to talk to you a little bit about this Nintendo Switch 2 and just address some of the crazy things that's been going on since it's been announced. I want to tell you a few of my opinions about the whole matter. And I also wanted to share some thoughts I had about what I think Nintendo's up to in the long run. So starting off with the Direct back in April 2nd, a lot of things finally got revealed here. And I wanted to go over a few of the things and just tell you my thoughts about them. Not necessarily go over everything, but just go over some of the things that I felt was the most interesting. First off, let's talk about the Switch console itself and some of the things it has to offer. The first thing that was showcased was the game chat. Yes, Nintendo is finally doing game chat and not through a little app on your phone. The voice chat is done directly through the controller, which I like a lot, because the alternative would be like a headset with a microphone, which would be one more thing for Nintendo to sell you. So I'm glad they went with the route of just having the controller be the microphone as well. So I like a lot of what Nintendo's doing with this game chat. Yeah, a lot of it is basically like what Discord does, but having it integrated with the console itself makes things so much more slick. I like being able to video chat and having that integrated into the games itself. It seems like a lot of fun. It reminds me of the Mario Kart arcade, where your picture is your icon as you're racing. Only this is a video, so you can actually see your friend's reaction in real time in game. Also, being able to actually stream what you're playing to your friends is a lot of fun. I can imagine, helping your friend play a puzzle game and being able to figure parts of a game out. It opens up a lot of avenues for playing the games in a community setting, which to me sounds like a lot of fun. And it's really what Nintendo does best overall, building games to be more like a community event rather than just kind of solo playing. Like even playing like a solo game like Zelda turns into something that could be social when you're playing it with a friend who's kind of helping you through a dungeon or telling you where to go to find that Korok seed. Now this whole game chat and all of the features, it is coming a little late, but at least they're late with something that I think is an improvement over what the other consoles are doing. But the question is it worth the wait? I don't think so. I don't think the improvements they're offering in game chat is like groundbreaking or anything. And to be honest, I think it probably could have been something that was offered on the original Switch. But you know what? I'll take what I can get at this point. Something else they revealed here was the mouse controls on the Joy-Cons. I know it was kind of leaked already and we kind of already knew what was going to be happening, but it was nice to get the actual announcement about the mouse controls. And I can see that working for quite a few games. I'm thinking RTS games like Civilization or Command and Conquer. Sim games like The Sims or SimCity would be a lot of fun to play on something like this. I just don't see myself playing at like a tabletop very often. So I'm thinking the mouse mechanic might be nice for some games, but I hope it's not part of a lot of games. They also brought up the capacity of this device to run 1080p at 120 FPS. That's a big deal. So much of a big deal that, quite frankly, I feel like it's overkill for me. I feel like 60 FPS is good enough for me. Quite frankly, I feel like it's good enough for the typical Nintendo fan. I'm thinking the kids playing Mario or the grandma playing bowling. I just feel like the jump from 60 to 120 is going to be lost on quite a bit of the Nintendo audience. Now, I very well could be eating my words in just a couple of months when I'm playing Zelda at 120 frames per second. It's just right now, it seems like a bit much for what Nintendo has to offer, but we'll see as we get there. There's quite a bit more about the hardware and the specifications of the console, but most of it's lost on me. I'm not the biggest tech head out there, so I'm gonna move on to the games. The big one, Mario Kart World. This looks like a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of Mario Kart games, and I'm looking forward to playing this one. What is it, 24 players at once? And also being able to race from one map to the next, like a race in between a race. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. Having all the maps be open world where you can kind of go wherever you want. All of it sounds fun to me. I'm definitely 100% on board for Mario Kart. Now, with all of that said, I still don't feel like Mario Kart is a worthy enough title to be paired with the launch of a brand new console. As much fun as it is, and trust me, I'm looking forward to it, it's Mario Kart. Okay, this isn't like a mainline Mario game or Zelda game. It just feels like kind of a lackluster game for the launch of a brand new console. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It doesn't seem like enough for me. But when you consider it compared to the other games that Nintendo is launching with this console, maybe Mario Kart is the best choice. because the alternative would be either Metroid or Donkey Kong. And Metroid has an absolute dedicated fan base. Yes, it does. It's just not the biggest exclusive title that Nintendo has. I mean, Metroid Dread was the most successful in the franchise, and it just sold over 3 million copies. Now, I love Metroid Dread. Okay, it was the only one of the Metroid franchise that I actually played all the way through. And it's one of the games that I'm definitely looking forward to playing on the new Switch 2 with the updated graphics. So I get it. I'm a Metroid Dread fan, okay? But when it comes to Metroid, that's really all I'm playing. I'm not interested in the original. I'm not really interested in the first-person shooter Metroid games. It's just not for me, okay? And unfortunately, I feel like that's what most Nintendo fans feel. The other game is Donkey Kong, and that's a little more successful. Donkey Kong Country, I think, sold over 9 million, maybe almost 10 million copies. So it's definitely more popular, but still, compared to Mario or Zelda, it's not quite there. So basically what I'm saying is, of those three big titles, Mario Kart seems to make the most sense to be paired with the launch. I just feel like at this point, we really should have a new Mario or a new Zelda to show with the new console. But I mean, we'll just keep waiting. I'll be waiting patiently for it. In addition to these games, we also have GameCube games. Yeah, Switch Online is being updated with GameCube, but only if you have the Switch 2. You can't get GameCube games on the Switch. And that's a bummer. I mean, the Switch can run GameCube games. I don't know why they wouldn't have it be for everybody. We're getting Wind Waker, which is nice. I've never played that before, so I'm looking forward to trying that. We're getting Soul Calibur 2, which I like that one for Link, so I'll be playing that. And we're getting F-Zero, which I never played, and I'm not interested in it. So I'll pass on that one. Thank you very much. Some games that are coming soon, Mario Sunshine, which sounds nice until you consider it's already part of the 3D All-Stars. The only other title that's coming soon that I was even remotely interested in was Luigi's Mansion. Not a solid lineup, really, from the GameCube, which is a little bit disappointing. I was looking forward to titles like Smash Brothers Melee. I put hundreds of hours into this game, so where's this, Nintendo? Mario Kart Double Dash. This is another one that I played endlessly. I love playing as two characters and being able to switch back and forth between the two, so another rendezvous with this would be very nice, Nintendo. You know what else would be good? The Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Yeah, Ocarina of Time all over again, but all the dungeons are mixed up. We need this on Nintendo Switch Online, please and thank you. Resident Evil 4 is a game that was originally released on the GameCube and I think deserves a spot in Nintendo Online. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I'm having a lot of fun playing the remake right now, but I never played the original and it's kind of expensive to come by. I think that needs a home on Nintendo Switch Online. A lot of people are talking about having Twilight Princess on the GameCube. I'll take it. I don't mind. But what I would really like is the Wii version of the game with its enhanced graphics. So the biggest excitement I had with GameCube was the fact that it's GameCube. All the games that got announced I wasn't super excited for, and all the coming soons I didn't really care for. All the games I'm excited for are games that were not even mentioned. But altogether, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct was mostly good news. I don't think there was any bad news, just maybe news I was indifferent about. I definitely had a smile on my face while I was watching this thing. Then the pricing came out. $450 for a Nintendo Switch 2. $500 if you want it paired with Mario Kart, which puts it slightly cheaper than the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Slightly cheaper for a console that's not quite there in terms of processing power. Games are still going to look better on the Xbox or the PlayStation, and you're going to be paying almost as much for the Nintendo. For some reason, Nintendo's putting themselves on par with, or at the very least, very close to the price of these much more powerful consoles. Let's face it, if I'm buying a third-party game that's also available on the Xbox, I'm gonna buy it on the Xbox. Because it's going to look better. Nintendo does Nintendo. The Marios, the Zeldas, the Donkey Kongs, all that kind of stuff. That's why I have a Nintendo. It seems like Nintendo is really targeting this new console to hardcore gamers, which is an audience that they really haven't tried to capture since Nintendo 64. Once they came out with the GameCube, they were committed to just having fun experiences rather than high graphics games. So choosing to enter that arena after this many years seems kind of dangerous. And I really hope it works out for Nintendo because I'm a big Nintendo fan. So I want them to be successful so I can keep playing Nintendo games. I just worry about them punching above their weight class and not having it go well for them. What I think, or what I hope is going on here, is Nintendo is trying to capture the hardcore gamers and hardcore Nintendo fans first. Get them on board, get them having their consoles. Then maybe after a couple years, make a new Switch 2 Lite. You know, a cheaper version with lower frame rate, lower processing power. Basically something between a Switch and a Switch 2. You can still play Switch 2 games, it's just not going to look as nice. And hopefully something like that, after a few years, the price will be below that 400 mark or at least very close to it. And then with that lower price point, you can start getting, you know, more kids and families and grandparents with their Switch consoles. That to me seems like perhaps a good path forward for Nintendo. Get the big hardcore Nintendo, hardcore game fans in the door first with the higher price point. Then after a couple of years, unleash the floodgates with a cheaper console for the rest of the family. I hope that's the case and Nintendo is successful with this console because a successful Nintendo is important for me. Okay, I want to play more Marios, I want to play more Zeldas, and I want to play these games without this whole variable pricing. This to me seems like a slippery slope. I mean, if the company is an honest company, sure, yeah, for a top tier game, I'll pay $80. Okay, all right, you have me there. But then that means that you have to be honest with me. And if you release a game that's not worth $80, you're not going to charge me $80. So maybe for a brand new Zelda or a brand new Mario or some other top tier game, yeah, okay, $80. But that means maybe some games are going to be $50. Maybe some games you make are going to be $40. The problem is I don't see Nintendo doing that. I see them charging $80 and sometimes $70. Now, if they charge $80 for games that guarantees future DLCs, I can maybe see that working. So Mario Kart is $80 today, but that means that maybe a couple years down the road, they have new characters and new maps and new game modes, and they all come for free. Okay, maybe I can get behind that. I just worry about multi-billion-dollar companies making that decision. So there you have it, my thoughts on the new console. I'm looking forward to it, just with a little bit of worry. I hope that worry just dissolves, and I just find myself having a fantastic time with the Nintendo. Who knows? $450 for a console. And that's a maybe.
Too bad about Kenny, huh?
We'll see where these tariffs go.
Life in the big city.